Newsshooter coverage of Cine Gear 2025 is sponsored by B&H Build Expo, June 17th and 18th at the Javits Center, New York, and Atlas LensCo.
I'm Eric Naso at Newsshooter.com, and we are at Cine Gear 2025, and I'm at the Sigma booth with the elusive Graham. How you doing, buddy?
I'm well, Eric. Am I elusive? I'm trying to stay front and center out here. I guess I can be.
Well, we were talking about the show you were working on, so now I've got this whole, chasing the animal around.
I do.
Now we're chasing you around. Hey, you're a Sigma ambassador, which is awesome. And let's talk about these new cinema lenses that we got here.
I am so incredibly excited about the Aizu line of primes from Sigma, developed from the ground up, which is cool, right? So if you remember the high-speed Sigma Cine primes from back in the day, those were based on the very beloved art series, right, of photo lenses. 2.5 years later of just ground-up development, we have the Aizu primes covering 12 focal lengths, all the way from 18 millimeter up to 125 millimeter.
Wow.
But there's a world first part of this, and that's large format coverage, T1.3, all the way through the line.
Wow, that's awesome. What I find it really cool is that Sigma decided to put out a lot. What you said, 8 lenses all at once, right? Instead of 1 or 2, and then 5 months, 6 months later, maybe 1 extra one, just to be able to really, you can deep dive and just get them now, and then backfill maybe the other, maybe less popular.
Yeah. Right? Well, I don't know about popularity, but I would say that, so right now what you're alluding to is that 8 of the Aizu primes are shipping August 2025, covering a range from 25 millimeter to 75 millimeter, which covers, most use cases, I hope, on the stuff I'm personally filming, with that additional 4 focal lengths, all the way wide to 18 millimeter, and then at the 125 end, those are TBD in terms of when those are being released.
And I don't know if you mentioned when they're going to be released again?
Yeah, so those 8 focal lengths are coming August 2025.
Perfect.
At a price tag of $8,299 per prime.
And are they going to sell them in a kit that maybe can save a little bit of money, or pretty much like
That's
one
not
at
the
a
plan
time?
currently. That's per lens per prime.
Mounts.
PL and E mounts, and I guess maybe we hop into kind of the look too.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love the look of the Aizu primes. They have this organic feel to them. There's a modern level of sharpness, but it's not a sharpness where it's like seeing every single pore in someone's face. I think it's incredibly flattering. Also, one of the things I love that the engineers in Aizu, by the way, that's where the name comes from. These are all handcrafted in Aizu, Japan.
Oh, very nice.
That's why I love the name Aizu. It's a commitment to the sort of family feel that Sigma has and has always had, and it's been part of the core identity of the brand. So that organic feel, excellent flare handling, but it's also not like squashing the flares. Like sometimes I want flares in what I'm shooting. The flares are still there. 13 blade iris, you can see that if you point these straight at the sun. And then in terms of coverage, 46.3 image circle coverage. That's good for, covering VistaVision, Alexa Mini LF, which is what we have right here, and OpenGate. These primes will cover that too. So, but also T1.3 with incredible close focus. The 25 millimeter, for example, close focus is at a foot. And then as you go up to the 75 millimeter here, close focus of 2.5 feet. At a foot, you almost don't need to rely on macro lenses anymore, which is just incredible versatility to these.
Fantastic. All right, anything else you want to add about these wonderful lenses?
We can go into the usability from the, camera department perspective, which as a local 600 DP myself, I'm always like, well, how usable are these on set? Unified 95 millimeter front diameter, so if you're using clip-on matte boxes, you're just clipping them as you change your lens. And then of course you have your 0.8 pitch gears, pretty standard at this point, but they're in the same place from prime to prime. And for VFX post workflow folks out there, you get the Zeiss extended metadata based on the Cook eye technology protocol. Very important for VFX, sending as much metadata as possible to the camera over a 4-pin LEMO. Oh, if you remember with the high-speed art lines, you could pay a little bit more, you could get the fully luminous paint job. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Now the paint job, fully luminous, out of the gate.
Out of the gate.
There's the little things, but on a dark soundstage, it really matters to me.
Yeah, very nice. Okay, thanks, Graham.
Thanks, Eric.
Awesome, nice job.